Did you see what's going on? Obviously, you've seen what's going on in California. But the governor gave this creepy fucking speech where he was talking about speculators coming in and talking about what to do with the land of all these homes that have been burnt down while it's still only 6% contained. And he did this little dance like, I've been talking with these, you know, with the governor of Hawaii about what to do. We got some ideas. A speculator, we're gonna have some meetings. Like, he's
really?
Oh,
California Governor Gavin Newsom is now calling his city's homeless encampments unacceptable, which is odd since he's the guy who, you know, made them acceptable. Turning sidewalks into red carpet events for drug addicts, thieves, and unemployed CNN anchors. On Monday, he urged cities to ban the camps from sidewalks, parks, and other public areas. So after years of denying the problem, he's now pretending to fix it, which is like putting on a condom as you're leaving a whorehouse.
This feels strange because he's the same person who helped make all of this seem normal, turning sidewalks into something like celebrity walkways for drug users, criminals, and even unemployed CNN personalities. On Monday, he suddenly urged local governments to ban camps from parks, sidewalks, and other shared spaces. After years of brushing the problem aside, he now acts as though he can fix it overnight. That pattern is familiar to everyone. It started with confidence and ended in total collapse. Gavin Newsom couldn't even figure out which camera to react to as everything unraveled. Every angle caught it. Joe Rogan stepped in, hurling hard facts with unstoppable force, like a bulldozer crashing through weak walls. Then Greg Gutfeld followed, firing off jokes sharper than California's tax hikes. This wasn't just criticism, it was total destruction. The moment spread outward, wiping out everything in its path. Even Newsom's famously stiff hairstyle couldn't hold up under the pressure. Let's be honest, this wasn't a simple clash of opinions. It was a full-blown on-air meltdown, plain and unforgettable.
nobody wants President Newsom either. Nobody believes in that guy. That guy's a fucking con man. Everything he did in California, from trying to mandate vaccines for kids to being caught public without a mask and lying about the fact that he was outdoors. Yeah. Nobody believes in that guy. He's just a politician. Just a stone-cold, narrative-driven politician. Nobody thinks he's a real human. Whether you like Trump or not, whether you think he's corrupt or not, that's a human being. You know what that guy is. Same thing with RFK Jr. Whether you believe that he's correct about vaccines or whether you believe his policies would be effective, you know that's a human being. With Newsom, you've got like this construct, this cardboard cutout of a person. I don't think people want that, but they might want it more than they want president.
Cut to Gavin Newsom. His hairline looks like it might be negotiating a deal with a luxury conditioner. He radiates the confidence of a man convinced the world spins just to hear him speak, even while standing perfectly still. Then comes the blow, sharp, almost sarcastic. The conversation had ended the moment Rogan and Gutfeld fell for California's so-called Sparkle Prince. What followed wasn't debate, it was a parade of suits and a televised demolition. Newsom's polished political image was no longer defended with words, it was dismantled with precision, like a wrecking ball on display.
Kennedy, I think the answer is yes, 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 yes.
Is it because of Israel? Yes. Interest rates? Yes. Too woke? Yes. Like every bad policy that trickled up to the White House during the Biden administration started in California. That state is responsible for the worst politicians in modern history. And he is at the top of the list, and there are some ignoramuses on that.
Please hit the subscribe button if you've enjoyed reading so far. Now, let's talk about Gavin. Big government, the collection. He walks into every room like it's a runway, master of the scripted TED Talk line, the toothpaste commercial smile, and the politician's holy trinity of charm. He leads with a style that freezes faster than a buffering stream. He's the face of progressive politics, charismatic, full of climate catchphrases, and probably carrying a wallet made from recycled materials. But under that glossy exterior, glitz, ego, and far more performance than progress.
Their houses have been burned, all their childhood memorabilia, all the stuff for their kids, the photos, the fucking everything they have is gone. All heirlooms, you know, their mother's wedding ring, that kind of shit. Everything's burnt to the ground. And this guy's like standing in front of all this stuff. And he's got a smile on his face, and he's talking about land use,
the development plan.
And yes, about the climate preaching, Gavin racks up enough green promises to fill a Whole Foods aisle, yet the slightest gust of wind sends California's electrical grid into chaos. Flip the switch, And after a round of applause, everyone is warned not to charge their cars between 4 and 9 p.m. thanks to early sunsets. The irony writes itself. Gas stoves are banned, yet half the state fumbles with flashlights to cook dinner. It's not policy, it's theater. Climate theater. Everyone acts like they're moving forward while stumbling in the dark, part of a melancholy, farcical performance.
He's the guy who thinks he's going to run for president when, so much of the state is absolutely unlivable. And so every project that he's championed, he's now trying to demonize conveniently, and people are not that dumb. Like, people have been through it in his state. They are sick of him. They want him to leave, and maybe that's why so many people around him are like, you should totally run for president. So he gets out of the state.
Yes. Move away. Cyrus, did he leave out?
Indeed, get out of there. But did he leave quietly? Not at all. He didn't just exit California. He escaped, like someone spotting a systemic flaw and sprinting for the emergency exit. Who could blame him? Even an elk-hunting, sauna-loving podcast giant knows when a state starts feeling like a post-apocalyptic video game rather than a utopia, it's time to go. Without a backward glance, Rogan hit Interstate 10 at full throttle. Like a UFC champ, he swapped kale for steak, smog for open Texas skies, and scripts for freedom. And he didn't disappear silently. He carried the Joe Rogan Experience, the loudest microphone on the planet. More than a podcast, it's a media juggernaut with over 100 million listeners and an algorithm that makes traditional news networks flinch. Rogan's edge? Pure heat, no filters. Newsom's lockdown reasoning only stoked that fire.
Down in Hawaii, you had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties, and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward, and we'll be presenting those in a matter of days, not just weeks.
The big smile on his face. Look at the little wiggle he does with his shoulders. Speculator, watch this. Talking to John. Look at this. Look at this little wiggle. It's excited about the possibilities of speculators coming in. And he's saying we're move forward. We're going to move forward on that. These people lost their homes. A lot of those people don't even have fire insurance because the fire insurance pulled out of California. I think like 69% of fire insurance pulled out of California because they're like, this is too crazy. Like, you guys aren't doing jack shit to manage this.
Rogan called out the hypocrisy so fiercely that the French Laundry nearly shut down from secondhand embarrassment, while Gavin sipped exquisite wine as if the world were ending. Rogan wasn't alone. He brought an army. Comedians with razor-sharp sarcasm, economists, medical pros, and even TikTok finance gurus using cartoon filters, explaining markets more clearly than California's rules ever did. Mega corporations weathered the chaos like they owned it, while small businesses crumbled. Health orders felt like they were dictated by a magic 8-ball, unpredictable, baffling, and exasperating. Meanwhile, Gavin stood there, radiant smile in place. Sure, a little extra hair gel could patch broken trust. Next came the modern-day Oregon Trail, or what some call the big tech migration, but with Teslas instead of wagons.
While Californians have lost their homes and they're still suffering from the devastation, what does Gavin Newsom decide to do? Well, now is apparently the perfect time to try and boost his popularity and essentially promote himself. He's launched a podcast. I'll play you the trailer in just a moment, but take notice. Does the trailer that he shared with the world on X, does it even mention the most horrific fire catastrophe that occurred under his leadership, partly as a result of the decisions he was making, like cutting fire prevention? No, this is his chance to talk about his image, insisting that
Rogan didn't just speak. He moved his studio to Austin, where blackouts were rare, leaving California's hostility to freedom and creativity behind. No chart, comment, or statistic could top Rogan's most compelling argument, his own life. He didn't need theatrics or raised voices. He simply grabbed the microphone and said what everyone was already thinking: this isn't working. Then, like a raccoon on a mission, Greg Gutfeld entered. Armed with a PhD and sharp contempt, he didn't shout, he sliced. Every word carried a sting so precise it could curdle almond milk. Gutfeld is a cold 5-star takedown, razor-sharp timing, ruthless accuracy, and perfectly styled hair. Looking at Gavin's polished facade, he spoke truths millions dared only whisper. The man seemed like a SimCity ad for luxury candles, blindfolded to reality. Gutfeld pulled back the curtain. Behind the Vanity Fair gloss were boarded up shops.
California Governor Gavin Newsom has been facing major calls to resign over his appalling handling of the deadly California wildfires. And just to quickly recap, these were the most destructive wildfires the state has ever seen. More than 16,000 properties were destroyed. The cost of the fires is estimated to be more than $200 billion. And for businesses in LA County, the future is looking grim. It's projected businesses will continue to lose billions of dollars over the next 5 years due to
tent encampments and struggling juice bars, a dystopia dressed with yoga mats, while Gavin still grinned as if scented candles and self-help quotes had conquered homelessness. But Gutfeld didn't stop there. He aimed for the jugular, the media's obsession with Gavin. Legacy outlets treat him like a JFK revival, complete with chic totes and dazzling teeth. Yet beneath the shine lay a spray-tanned mess of disorder. Gutfeld's eruptions weren't just for laughs, they landed like cannons. While ordinary people struggled with gas, rent, and grocery prices, glowing stories of Gavin's audacious leadership were shredded. Families couldn't afford milk, yet magazines swooned over his aura. Then came the climate farce. Gutfeld, a truth sniper fueled by espresso, cut through buzzwords like solar dreams and carbon equality. Everything seemed fine until the crucial question, who's paying? Administrators drove hybrids like sci-fi characters.
Anything? I think there's about 100 other reasons too.
Well, you can't, it's not his words when he speaks.
Yeah.
You have to watch him closely. And some genius decided not to film him any lower than the shoulder.
Yes, did you? Yes.
So what did he do?
You couldn't see the hands.
No, but he sent Morse code.
Yes.
Go back and watch it. Look at the blinking. Look. Meet me at the house. Like, he's blinking. He's sending, I'm getting there. Hey, just so you know.
While citizens suffered blackouts and half-built charging stations, Gutfeld didn't just reveal the truth, he dismantled the performance. The world wasn't being saved, it was being staged for Instagram. The knockout blow came, Gavin's presidential ambitions. Gutfeld didn't buy into the 2028 rumors swirling like incense at a yoga retreat. He dismissed the idea that someone unable to manage a single state could run the entire country. He's running fine, Gutfeld snapped, but that's inaccountability, not the presidency. The jokes practically wrote themselves. Comparing Newsom in the White House is like franchising a restaurant that just failed 3 health inspections, a broken freezer, filthy kitchen, and disastrous reviews all behind a shiny sign. Gutfeld didn't hold back. He shattered the delusion, leaving even Newsom's PR team unable to hide the truth behind the laughs. Then came the unexpected tag team. Rogan and Gutfeld hit together like 2 wrecking balls. Rogan supplied the facts, Gutfeld ignited the fire. Together, they proved that Newsom's leadership doesn't just miss the mark.
Gavin Newsom talks about California. He's like, I'm very big on California, very bullish on California. Hey, they're all moving. The only reason why they don't move is because it's too difficult to move. It's too expensive to leave versus all the bullshit with all the permits and all that. It's too expensive. Believe that he's correct about vaccines, or whether you believe his policies would be effective. That's a human being. With Newsom, you've got like this construct, this cardboard cutout of a person. I don't think people want that, but they might want it more than they want president.
It wipes the target off the board. Rogan didn't yell or gesticulate. His quiet, steady voice packed more power than a scream. People were leaving, businesses were struggling, homelessness was rising. He'd moved for a reason. That voice was a sledgehammer wrapped in silk. Humor wasn't his goal, impact was. Then Gutfeld entered, different energy, same precision. While Rogan analyzed calmly, Gutfeld roasted with style. Like a comedian trapped in the worst play, he read the government script, line by line, each word dripping disbelief. Rogan reached the thinkers, those demanding proof and receipts. Gutfeld targeted the disillusioned who'd lost faith in media replaced by slogans. Charts and videos circulated through Rogan's audience, while Gutfeld simply gestured at the chaos and let the truth speak for itself. No matter their approach, Gutfeld's razor-sharp sarcasm or Rogan's icy precision, they arrived at the same grim conclusion. Gavin Newsom is performing, not leading. This isn't just failure, it's glitter-coated failure. He comes across like a trailer promising a masterpiece, but delivering 90 minutes of slow-motion speeches and empty platitudes. Rogan and Gutfeld weren't fooled. They saw the same illusion from opposite angles and dismantled it with surgical precision.
For national office, he acts like a Republican. This is where the left is really pro-trans. Suddenly, they grow bald.
Gavin embodies style without substance, endless speeches, and hollow spectacle. Commentary ended the moment they tore off the glossy mask, turning observation into full-blown political reckoning. Audiences on every side, one wielding a chainsaw, the other a wrench, were left nodding in stunned recognition. I can't stop thinking about Gavin. Beyond admiring his American Psycho-level performance, he seems to be distancing himself from his party's worst ideologies. The governor who rails against fossil fuels yet can barely influence gas prices once promised California would be a haven for anyone seeking it. Suddenly, everyone saw clearly. Disillusioned hipsters, libertarians, conservatives, weary millennials, even that barista who swore off politics all recognized the same truth. Poor leadership wasn't the disaster. The real catastrophe was the theater itself. And just as chaos threatened to overwhelm, the final montage landed like a punch. The revelation outweighed the victory. Newsom wasn't the only target, but he was the clearest example. When the curtain fell, only filters, flash, and hollow fixes remained. Rogan could release a full episode, California Collapse Volume 2, and thanks to Gutfeld, it might go viral as the homeless edition of Gavin's glamour tour. Will Gavin reconsider? Of course not. He'll likely post a selfie with a wind turbine and a line about visionary leadership. Change has never been his focus. Performance always has.